Hi guys, Erin here for a book-related video. Today I'm going to be talking about my Hanukkah book haul. I know it's way after Hanukkah, and this video is really late, but I got a bunch of books for Hanukkah, and I'm getting even more books for Christmas. Dad's Jewish, Mom's Catholic, I celebrate both. So anyway, we'll start off with One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. This is a fictional mystery novel. It's sort of like Pretty Little Liars meets The Breakfast Club, as certain reviews say. It's about 5 high schoolers who go to detention, and they're all from different social groups. So there's like Bronwyn the Brain, Addie the Beauty, Nate the Criminal, Cooper the Athlete, and Simon the Outcast. And only 4 come out alive as Simon is murdered, and now it's up to the 4 of them to figure out who killed Simon. And I place my bets on either Simon's ex-friend, Janae, or the teacher giving detention, Mr. Avery, who said he's a huge technophobe. So, have I started reading the book? Yes, I'm a little more than halfway through, and I can't wait to finish reading this because this is like a book that I love so much already, even though it has to do with high school, and high school was hell for me. So anyway, this book is really good. I highly recommend it. I got it at my Barnes & Noble where I work, and I have not been disappointed with my purchase. And the next book I have is Under the Lights by Abby Glines. This is a fictional romance novel. It's part of a series called the Field Party series. There's Until Friday Night, Under the Lights, After the Game, and Losing the Field. And I actually read the 3rd book first, which was After the Game. I borrowed the book from one of my friends, and now it's on my Christmas list, so I'll be getting that book for Christmas. But for now, I am reading this book, and I actually haven't started reading it yet, but I'm going to get around to it eventually. And with the amount of books that I have in my house, I have maybe over 3,000, and that's like books on the bookshelves in the living room, the unorganized books in the kitchen, in my parents' bedroom, in my bedroom, in my brother's bedroom, and everywhere else you can think of, because literally there's books in every single room in my house. So anyway, with Under the Lights, it takes place in a small southern town, and a love triangle brews between 3 teenagers, Willa, Brady Higgins, and Gunnar Lawton. And Willa, she thinks that she can protect herself by keeping everyone at a distance, and yeah, that doesn't work out. I've tried before, it doesn't work out. And with reading the 3rd book in the series, I thought, okay, this might trigger me with memories from high school. It might not, I don't know, but it didn't, so that was a huge thing for me, and so that's really what got me into reading books about high school again. Because even though I had such a bad time, there's still some good in going there for some people. Not for me, but like, it's still like a huge thing if you know me. I'm gonna stop talking about the whole high school thing now. Next, we have The Leaving by Tara Altibrando, and this is a fictional mystery novel. It's a standalone, and 6 kids disappear, and then they return 5 years later. There were forgotten memories in their town, and one daughter is unable to remember much about her mother, and then one sister loses her brother, and she's desperate to find him because he's still missing. And with everyone who's been gone in the book, this one girl, she doesn't believe that the memory loss is a story that cuts it, so to speak, so she thinks that there's more to do with that. Have I started reading this book? No, because as you have seen, I already have 2 books I'm still reading right now. Well, more than that, because I have a pile over there, but anyway, I'm really intrigued by this. My grandma actually bought me this book as a Hanukkah present, so thank you, Grandma! You got me a book that I really like, and I just can't wait to start reading it, so I'm super happy about that. And mystery is like a new favorite sort of genre besides fantasy and science fiction. And now we have Avoid the Size of the World by Rochelle Alpine. Forgive me if I'm saying her name wrong, I do not know how to pronounce that. This is also a fictional mystery novel. It's a standalone, and the summary is pretty, I don't know how to describe it, like, not cliche, but Riley kisses her sister's boyfriend, and then her sister disappears, never to return, and then evidence proves that something awful happens to the sister, so Riley may not want to admit that she is the cause of why her sister left, but what would have happened if she didn't kiss her sister's boyfriend? Would she be alive now? We don't know. So this is a huge mystery to figure out where the sister left to. And I'm intrigued. I was intrigued by the cover. I thought, ooh, this looks really interesting. And as I read the back of the book, I was like, yes, this is a purchase I would like to make. So my grandma also bought me this book, so I'm super happy about that too. Then we have The Geography of Lost Things by Jessica Brody, which is a fictional romance novel. And you know that I don't generally read romance novels, but this one I sort of judged the book by the cover, so I bought the book. And this is another standalone. It's about a teenage girl who loses her father, and her father leaves the only thing in his possession left to his daughter, which is a 1968 Firebird convertible, and she decides to sell the car, so she needs to drive the car to the new owner, but she doesn't know how to drive stick shift, so she gets her ex-boyfriend to drive her to the new owner, and they go on a little road trip get-together, and I don't know what happens next, but I'm super excited to read the book, and I want to get through, like, all the books that I have just to see what it would be like to have, like, every book in my house be read. But that's, like, an impossible dream already. So anyway, I will be getting around to this soon, but not immediately. And this is 10 After Closing by Jessica Bayless, or Ballas, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's a thriller mystery sort of thing. Well, not really a mystery, more of a thriller with, like, who is this person. But, it's a standalone, and it's about this little cafe called Cafe Flores, and it closes at 10 p.m. sharp. But before that, this teenager, Scott, breaks up with his girlfriend, so he can't go to this end-of-year party with his girlfriend, and this other girl, Winnie, she wants to let loose and just forget her home life because it's so terrible, but they can't do that because there's a gunman in Cafe Flores who kills someone before putting on a holdup, and everyone's wondering if they'll live till sunrise. Have I started reading this? Yes. But have I been distracted with One of Us is Lying? Yes. That is another yes. So, when I saw the cover, I thought, ooh, this is really cool. This kind of reminds me of the, YouTube channel, something Llama. Llama Arts, that's it. With all the little short videos on horror stories and everything, like the Snapchat scary stories, the pool story, and those are just really, like, freaky good. So this sort of reminded me of something like that, because I don't know why, but it just did, so I'm like, yes, I'm not leaving the store without this book. So here we go! We also have The Lost Causes by Jessica Edding and Alyssa Schwartz. This is a fictional mystery novel. It's a standalone. It's about high school students who are given special drugs by the FBI because the FBI thinks them so-called lost causes. And these kids develop psychic powers, and then they enter to solve a murder investigation. And there's more to than that, and conspiracies are discovered, so I'm just like, yes, I would love to read this. But before I started reading, I was on break at work at Barnes & Noble, and I was in the cafe area, drinking coffee and eating tiramisu, which I am never eating again just because it had so much sugar that it gave me a headache. But anyway, I saw the book on the table, nobody was reading it, and so I just pick it up and I start reading it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really good. So, I immediately bought the book that day, and I have not looked back. But I gave it to my grandma to give it to me as a Hanukkah present to myself, sort of. I don't know how to explain it, but I was so surprised that my grandma, like, was super happy that I was reading this book, just because she doesn't, like, approve entirely of me reading so much fantasy all the time, like, anything fantasy, like Game of Thrones, the Seven Realms series, the Gone series, like anything like that. My grandma's just like, why don't you read this sort of book or this sort of book? And so I'm just like, okay, I'll give a few books a try, and this book was just one of those tries that sucked me right in. So I love it, so thank you, Grandma. And then the final book that I got for Hanukkah was Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas, which is the ending book of the Throne of Glass series. I am dying inside, oh my god! Kingdom of Ash has 6 other books before it. There's The Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, and Tower of Dawn. And I am not ready for the series to end. I'm still on Heir of Fire, which is the, like, third or fourth book, I forget which. But, in Kingdom of Ash, Aelin, Ash River, Galathinius, Whitethorn has sacrificed so much for her people of the Kingdom of Terrasen, and now she's been locked in an iron coffin, something that hurts the Fae kind. And her husband is seeking to find her, while her friends and allies make deals, break bonds, and give promises to free her for the sake of her safety and the safety of their world too. And to note, I have not read the book yet, but I read the summary online. And have I started reading this? No, because I don't want the series to end, so I'm sort of like drawing out with Heir of Fire because I just don't want the series to end. And if I'm getting Catwoman by Sarah J. Maas for Christmas, then I will have read every book that Sarah J. Maas has ever published, and I seriously don't want the series to end, so that's why I'm taking my time with Heir of Fire. Then I'll be going on to the next book, and then we'll just move on from there. But if Sarah J. Maas stopped writing immediately after publishing this book, I would probably die because I love her books so much. And you can ask my brother, because he knows how obsessed I am with the series, and, like, literally, if we're talking about books, that's pretty much all I ever talk about, besides, like, a bunch of the other books that I talk about already. I've only had 2 cups of coffee today, so I'm not really making much sense. But anyway, as you can tell, I love books. So anyway, like, subscribe, comment, do your thing, and have a great day, everyone.